Join me as I dive deep into the question, is a new ice age really on the horizon? I'm going to sift through the latest climate change research and find out what's really going on. Climate change, two words that are probably on everyone's mind these days. With all the craziness going on in the world, it's hard not to wonder if the apocalypse is near. I mean, who wouldn't want to know if we're heading towards a frozen wasteland or a sweltering desert? But before we dive into the juicy stuff, let's set the stage. The concept of an ice age is pretty straightforward, a period of long-term reduction in the Earth's temperature, resulting in the expansion of ice sheets and glaciers. Simple enough, right? But what's really fascinating is how this idea relates to climate change. You might be thinking, wait, aren't we talking about global warming? How does that lead to an ice age? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore today. Get comfy, grab a snack, and let's get started. After all, it's not every day we get to talk about the possibility of woolly mammoths roaming the streets again. Climate change is a complex beast, and understanding its connection to ice ages is crucial if we want to make sense of what's happening to our planet. So buckle up and let's dive in. In the early 1970s, some scientists believed that we were heading towards a new ice age due to the observed cooling trend from the 1940s to the 1970s. Yeah, you heard that right. Some folks actually thought we were getting colder, not warmer. This idea was even featured in a few scientific papers and media outlets, sparking widespread concern about an impending ice age. But here's the thing. That cooling trend was largely due to aerosol particles in the atmosphere, which blocked out sunlight and contributed to the cooling effect. Fast forward to today, and we've got a much clearer understanding of climate change and its driving forces. Still, the question remains, is a new ice age possible? To answer that, we need to look at the science behind climate change. Put simply, climate change is a long-term shift in the Earth's climate patterns. There are many factors contributing to this shift, including greenhouse gas emissions, changes in the Earth's orbit, and even volcanic eruptions. Let's start with the basics. Greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane trap heat in the atmosphere, leading to a rise in global temperatures. This is backed up by loads of scientific evidence, including temperature records, melting glaciers, and shifts in the timing of seasonal events like migration patterns. On the other hand, some scientists argue that changes in the Earth's orbit could lead to a cooling effect. The idea is that the Earth's orbit around the Sun is elliptical, which means that the distance between the two bodies varies throughout the year. This variation can impact the amount of solar energy the Earth receives, potentially leading to cooling. Now you might be thinking, wait, doesn't that mean we're heading towards an ice age? Not quite. While changes in the Earth's orbit do contribute to climate variability, they're not enough to trigger an ice age on their own. Another factor to consider is volcanic eruptions. These events can release massive amounts of ash and aerosols into the atmosphere, reflecting sunlight and cooling the planet. However, the cooling effect is usually short-term and localized, unlike the long-term global impact of greenhouse gas emissions. Speaking of greenhouse gases, let's talk about carbon dioxide. This potent gas is a major contributor to climate change, and its concentration in the atmosphere has been rising steadily over the past century. In fact, levels are currently higher than they've been in the past 800,000 years. But here's the thing. Even if we stopped emitting greenhouse gases today, the Earth's temperature would continue to rise for a while due to the built-up gases in the atmosphere. This is known as committed warming, and it's a crucial concept to understand when discussing climate change. Of course, no discussion of climate change would be complete without mentioning the role of humans. Our industrial activities like burning fossil fuels and deforestation have led to a significant increase in greenhouse gas emissions. It's a complex issue, and one that requires a collective effort to address. One of the most fascinating aspects of climate change is the concept of tipping points. These are points of no return, where the Earth's systems become so unstable that even small changes can have massive consequences. Think of it like a seesaw. Once you reach the tipping point, the entire system can flip, leading to dramatic changes in the climate. So what does all this mean for the possibility of a new ice age? Well, the scientific consensus is clear. We're not heading towards an ice age anytime soon. In fact, the opposite is true. The planet is getting warmer, and it's largely due to human activities. But here's the thing. Even if we're not heading towards an ice age, climate change is still a massive problem. Rising temperatures are causing sea levels to rise, leading to more frequent natural disasters and disrupting ecosystems around the world. One of the most surprising findings from my research is just how fast the climate is changing. I mean, we're talking about a rate of change that's unprecedented in human history. It's like trying to imagine a movie playing at hyperspeed. The changes are happening that quickly. Take the Arctic, for example. The region is warming at a rate that's twice as fast as the global average, leading to rapid melting of sea ice and thawing of permafrost. It's like a ticking time bomb, and one that could have massive implications for global weather patterns. Historically, ice ages have been triggered by a combination of factors, including changes in the Earth's orbit, variations in the sun's energy output, and shifts in ocean currents. But what's really interesting is that these events have often been preceded by rapid warming periods known as interglacial periods. So what do you think? Are we heading towards a new ice age, or is climate change going to continue to dominate the headlines? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think we're in for a frozen future, or will the warming trend continue? But here's the thing, the reality of climate change is far more pressing than the possibility of an ice age. We're facing a crisis, folks, and it's one that requires immediate attention. So let's put aside the speculation and focus on what really matters, taking action to reduce our carbon footprint and mitigate the effects of climate change. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a shocking statistic. Did you know that the top 10% of emitters are responsible for around 45% of global emissions? Yeah, it's mind-boggling. And it's a clear reminder that change needs to start at the top. Disclaimer, as an Amazon and other affiliate, I earn from qualifying purchases at no additional cost to you. Want to make videos like this? Turn text into stunning videos in seconds. Get free AI and unlock your creative potential. You can create even better videos than mine. No editor is required. Check out the link in the video description below. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the world of climate change and ice ages. Remember to like this video, subscribe for more content, and comment your thoughts below. And hey, if you're feeling curious, check out my other videos on the science, technology, engineering, and math. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.